This is an exhibit by Marilyn Farquhar at the International Quilt Festival. She experienced 3 losses in her life. One was her husband of 32 years who passed after being diagnosed with cancer. And then she took care of her father for 6 weeks, who also passed from a diagnosis of cancer. And just a few short weeks later, she got word that her brother was killed by the police in Canada after being suicidal. So she experienced 3 losses in a very short period of time. So that first quilt had 3 cardinals, one for each of her losses. She was devastated, of course, like we all would be, with so many losses in such a short period of time. So she decided to put her losses into her quilts and start making quilts about her loss and to help healing with her loss. And this quilt exhibit is going to travel all over the world in order to make awareness of mental health. So these pictures are in the background of her quilt just to show that when someone dies, it not only affects the person who dies, but all of the people around them. And this quilt is an overlay of a picture of her brother in the background, and in the front are the words that he spoke to her not too long before he attempted his suicide. I'm such a piece of shit. I've only caused heartache and sorrow. The pain in my brain is unacceptable. So those are the words that he was telling her and how his mental health was affected. This next piece is one of an eagle. May your spirit soar. It's the 3rd one that she did in her series of her 3 quilts related to the death and the loss. And her brother really liked eagles, and she is hoping that he is now soaring and not suffering anymore. I did have an opportunity to speak with her at the Quilt Festival about her quilts. I did not interview and record what we talked about, but Houston Chronicle wrote an article about her on her Instagram page. She has a lot of information about why she decided to make her quilts and the meaning behind her quilts. And there's also a documentary that is being made. If you look up her name on YouTube, you can find a documentary, the start of it, but there's a complete documentary being made about her loss and her life. So again, it was 3 losses in a very short amount of time, and the loss of her brother was very senseless since it was a suicide attempt and he did not need to be shot. Her quilt exhibit is called The Only Constant is Change and the Kairos Quilt, an opportune time for action. Please follow her on Instagram and YouTube to learn more about this amazing quilter from Canada. Thanks for watching. Bye.